everyone. So good afternoon. There is actually some mix up about the time. I thought it is 6:30, but then I said it's 6 o'clock. Sorry about that. So how are you? Hi May. So the sound is okay, good. Everything seems good. Why my background is Spider-Man? Because I'm actually wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt. The Spidey. So I can actually, you can't actually see it. Actually, I feel so proud of my t-shirt. Spider-Man. Hendra, how are you, bro? Good. So, the English part is like behind almost 2 sessions with the Indonesian one, right? For the Indonesian one, we are going to talk about the second type of karma. This one is the first one now. It's a bit interesting. Why I choose karma as my topic to have FB Live and Instagram Live? Because what happened is, especially in this type of pandemic time, more people actually blaming the situations, blaming to the conditions. There are many who are actually feel depressed. So I'm thinking of trying to tell people that, some of the things that they believe, because it is because we live in Eastern or Asian cultures, so we believe in karma. So what happened is many people doing good stuff. In returns, they can have a better life, but there are actually more to that. That's why it's been I think it's the 4th week because it's chapter 4 for karma in this current life. I'm going to divide it into 2 because last time for one session we still couldn't cover everything. It's quite deep. I hope everyone can understand of what I'm trying to tell you, and I hope that you can get something out of it. Of course, most important is you have fun, you feel entertained. But then, most important is if you're able to get something out of this and able to change your life. Okay, I'm naming myself now as the happiness expert. Why I'm the happiness expert? Because I do healing. Some of you already knows, and some of you already healed by me. When I do healing, I not only heal physical problems or emotional problem. So what happened is, whenever you are having a discomfort, I can make it gone. Say like in one session, in an hour. But you have to be specific in it, right? You cannot just ask me to fix everything. But one by one, we can fix it. And when you sort of fix, when you get better, you'll feel better in terms of your emotion, your thoughts, and also the physical pain will be gone. So if any of you wants to get healed, just make appointment through the WhatsApp number. The number is +62 815 711 8889. So this one is you can speak and write English. My friend is helping me to managing the time. So what you have to do is After you arrange the time, then you give me a call, then we can talk. That's it, no other rules and regulations. I don't expect people to call me or write me because, frankly speaking, to many people writing me stuff, I don't even have time for my own anymore. So please, just do that. When the time comes, I want to make sure that the session is privately for you, so I can focusly dealing with your problems. Yeah. Okay, now we are going to talk about the first type of karma. This karma, I said this one is karma in this current of life. I think it is, although every karma is quite important, yeah, but karma in this current life is very, very important, because other people keep thinking karma is something you have done in the past life, long time ago lah, whatever. They forget that we are actually living in this current state. That's why the current is where you feel the problem the most, yeah. You cannot live in the past, because whenever you keep living in the past, you live a regret life. The same thing, you also cannot live far to the future, because future is uncertain. If you keep thinking about to the future, you get anxiety, so it is never good. What is the best one? There's always saying, yeah, you have to live in a current state. That's why karma in the current state is quite important for me particularly, because I'm naming myself a happiness expert. Why? Because I'm trying, always trying to live in the present. It is, I don't say that it is easy. Most of the time it's hard, especially when you have problems. But then you just have to keep trying and trying. Boon, how are you? I suppose not call you Boon, yeah. I should call you Leong Jia. Good evening, brother. So the karma in this current life means it's the karma that you make as you grow up and live. It's 100% made by you, from you and to you. So everything is about you. When we said other types of karma, you can always say like it's somebody else's fault. But this type of karma, nobody's fault. You cannot blame. We just need to accept it, because it is 100% you. Now, hold on a sec. And you also know, yeah, the perspective that I'm using in talking about this karma are all based from the logic thinking and also science. I've been learning psychological stuff. I didn't go particularly to university, but I learned a lot about psychological stuff because I'm very interested in human, whether it's the human itself or the human interactions. So as you can see from the past few weeks, there is no spiritual aspect whatsoever, especially from the religion side. And when I said it is based on science, means we are going to talk mostly about the mind and how the mind works. Because frankly, everything is all about the mind. How you think, how you feel, it makes how and why you behave in a certain way in a specific situation and conditions. So even though when we are using our conscious mind, we are using logic, we are discussing about something, do you notice that actually after everything is done, sometimes we do the opposite things? Because whatever we do, how we act, it's always controlled and managed by how we think, feel, and desire. So rather than the logic parts, I think I've been telling you about this. The logic part is only controlling 12% of our mind. The other 88%, the subconscious and the unconscious, they are controlling most of the time, relating to the emotions. That's why you go to a class, you go to a motivational speaker, you feel energetic, you feel yes, because why? On that time, your logic opens, the feeling you feel, wow. After certain times, it all becomes memory. Then what we feel decreasing. That's why usually we feel very happy and feel very motivated on that time only. After a while, so in this current life, imagine a baby. When the baby first born, it is like a clean slate of paper, no stain, blank. As the baby grows, we can say the baby's life will become that person's storybook, personal storybook, where that person will become the main character of the story, of the book. Now, what does it mean to become the main character? The main character means that the story will be told from the first point of view. That is the main character's point of view. His or her perspective, way of thinking, and mindset. So it's telling you that the way we behave and think, whether we said that we are doing this for other people, whatever, it is our natural state that we see it for our own benefits only. And we just said that the main character, which means the character is the most important, that tells you how the story goes. If the character is good, the whole book is going to be good. If the character is bad, then it's going to be, you can tell what kind of story you read, or when you watch a movie, you can say like, are you watching a drama movie? Are you watching a thriller? It's based on the character. If the character is fun, then you will feel the movie is fun. If the character is having a mysterious, when you watch thriller, it's gonna be good because it keeps you on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen. So character, everybody knows what is a character, but do you actually know how a character is built? So in this session, I'm going to tell you how a character is built. Sandra! We go back to the baby. Why? Because baby is easier to become an example. When the baby comes, clean state, nothing inside the brain, nothing inside the mind, not the brain, nothing inside the mind. Through the interaction, a lot of data are inputs into the baby's mind. Now, these data input into the mind can be through repetition, can be through the learning or transfer of knowledge and skills. And the third one is through observation. So, those three, they're all through our 5 senses and the way we perceive everything. There are 3 ways how to perceive all the data. Yeah? The repetitions is used for our muscles to learn. It's the kinesthetic way of learning. So human have a kinesthetic, have a visual, and also have an auditory. Kinesthetic means movement, through movement. That's why repetition is used to learn something that needs to be done time and time over and over again. Auditory, visual, and kinesthetic, it's used to learn or transfer of knowledge and skills. Yeah, because you need to see, you need to practice, and you also need to hear. And to observe, most of the times you need visual. Because you only see, then you see things, how things are done. After that, all the data will be given specific meaning. If there is no meaning, this data will not turn into anything. Will just come nothing. If there is specific meaning, this data will turn into information. For example, hold on, yeah. When you ask a baby, don't touch sharp things, yeah? You repeatedly telling the baby, you're using repetition, you're using a gesture, sometimes you tap into the hands, sort of like slapping. Slapping. It means like, that one is no good, don't do it. So, hold on, yeah. Suddenly my mind becomes blank. Probably because today is those days, I don't know. When the kids given the meaning of the data, yeah, you cannot touch the sharp points, then it will become information. Then it will be stored into your mind. If nothing happened, if the baby just touch the shiny things, nothing, no meaning happen, yeah. Like nobody teaching that it is not good. There is no event, means touching only. After that, drop, nothing happen. It won't stuck to the memory into information. It just become data that, oh, this is a knife or scissor or something like that. But if the baby actually touch the sharp things and suddenly it cuts into the finger or whatever, it's given a meaning that sharp things are not good, then they will be stored into information. Yeah. So everything, if already be given a specific meaning, it will turn into information. Otherwise, it is nothing. Now, this information will be processed into 3 different areas. One is to the conscious level of mind. Which becomes, you process it into from the logical point of view. It will turn into needs. Second one, it will be processed in the subconscious. The things that are processed here are the feelings, and it will turn into wants. Now the third part is the unconscious part, where the logic and the feelings mix together and they become desire. So those 3, the needs, the wants, and the desires, that what actually drives someone to act or do some action. So after the data be given specific meaning, it will turn into information. Those information will be processed into those 3 parts of the mind. Everything will result in some action. Now this action, if you do it repeatedly, then it will turn into a habit. Now, habit is the thing that defines your character. I'll give you an example for it. So, how people treat money, or how people perceive money in this current situation, it's affected greatly by how, for example, your parents teaching you. So if you are spoiled, like if you want anything, then your parents just give anything, give you all the money. You will never think that money is very hard to get. But the other thing also, you might not have a hard determination or willingness to work, because everything is given to you. So if you suddenly live a very hard life or something like this happen there, you are one of the first person to get broken. Because why? You are taught with your data, with your information and everything, and it'll become a habit of just deceiving. So it'll become your character. You know, you cannot work hard, and you always just accepting things. You see, if a kid is spoiled, you might think that you are actually taking care of the kids very good. But based from the case studies of all the case studies I learned, read, or even taught during the classes, it is never good having the kid being spoiled since they're kids, because what happened is the behavior, the habit will make the kids it is like this lah. Me is the generation X, I think, and today's generation is this generation they are called what kind of thing? I don't know. Multimedia generation. So what happened, we like older generation, we always see these youngsters, they have no willpower or determination. Whenever they face hardship, they back down easily. Whereas older generation, we always fight. Oh, they are the millennial generation. So why it happens like that? Because some of the reasons are, we the older generation, we always think that the way we treat our kids, we want to treat them better, make them having a fulfilled and better life rather than we used to have. So we are doing it overboard. We spoil the kids. So what happened is it becomes habit. So the millennial characters becoming sort of like softer than the older one. So that is actually what happens. If you put the data wrongly, the things that they do will make and become their characters. And once the characters settle in, it's very, very hard to change. All generation has perseverance. Yeah, that's true. I think you and me, we belong to the same generation, yeah, bro. Yeah, that's why. So, because of like that, yeah. We know that the character happened because of the human interaction. Yeah, the data thing. If no interaction, nothing. Data is only become data only. So karma is also the same. It happened because of the interaction, whether it is internal or external. Internal means the interaction between ourselves, between the thoughts and feelings and the desire, how they all connected to each other, how they react and respond to each other. And external interaction means between us and another human being, or between us and the situation. And this interaction, yeah, they always be processed into three different sectors: conscious mind, unconscious mind, and the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. Always. So the thoughts, yeah, which in the conscious mind, the way it processes, it's always about right or wrong. Is it the good thing to do? The right way to do it? Is it beneficial for me? The subconscious always deal with emotions, and we already talk about it, yeah. So the way the subconscious works is about pain and pleasure. So it always happen like that. And after that, the desire, the unconscious, it is actually the real motive in our certain behavior. It's the deepest level. So most of the time, people very hard to find what is the real desire. Even for in the psychological studies, you need to have more skills to actually uncover the desire and the desire level of the human. And why is that? Because, yeah, it is located into a very, very deepest level. sometimes you don't even know whether it actually exists or not. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago, the example is about the sex thing, yeah? So maybe you feel, maybe you want sex because you kind of horny. That is your thinking. But your heart is actually, you want to have some connections. You might also want to find love. It's play on the feeling side, yeah. But the desire is actually maybe another things. You probably want to be needed because one of the deepest level, human is always want to be important to someone else. That's why they find someone to love, because when they have someone loving them, they will feel that they're important. So that is actually one of the reason, yeah. When people want to have sex, if they don't have a spouse, what that person probably want is not the actual feeling of the physical part. Maybe the feeling of loneliness, feeling to be needed. That's why some people goes into addiction, sort of goes to the porn addiction or goes to the sex worker addiction. Why? Because the act of doing the sex is not satisfying the deepest level of their intention. What they want probably is just to feel connected. Now, the gap between fulfilling the want, the need, and the desire, that is the one that is creating karma. Because what happened is, due to one factor only, say the logic wants to have sex. It will create some expectation. You think the expectation is like this, but as I said before, your heart is actually want something else, and your desire actually want something else too. That's why when you think that if you act in certain way, then you'll be happy, you actually still feel empty, because what the reality, the fulfillment doesn't actually satisfy all those three levels, and that is karma. When you're not satisfied, when you're unhappy, when you don't feel enough, your brain will try to look for answers. And these answers, if these conditions cannot be met, it will come to you over and over and over again and become patterns. Next week, I'm going to tell you why the expectation and why the difference between the expectation and the reality really actually creating karma. It's a bit hard and deep topic, and some more it's actually quite hard for me to actually say it in English. I hope that you guys can understand. If there is any question, so I can probably explain better, please do comment. Boon, are you okay? So to recap, what we discussed today is like the karma in this life is more about how you make your character, how you base your character from your character, the way you perceive things and you see things. When you also want to do something, you will have expectation, and when those expectations actually doesn't meet the reality, it creates karma. Why karma? Because karma is something that you need to learn. If you don't learn, it will repeatedly come back to you again and again and again. Why is that? We are going to discuss it next week. Is there any question? If there is no question, then we are going to continue next week about why, when the expectation doesn't meet the reality, you will create karma. So what happens when it happens? Yeah. Just waiting for somebody who okay. Well, I'm late. Don't worry, bro. Yeah, you can still watch the reply. Anyway, you already watched the Indonesian version. This one is the English version anyway. Thanks, bro. Okay, Boon. So I'm going to see you again next Monday. Probably 6:30, yeah. So today is a bit earlier, 6 o'clock. But next week we are going back into the 6:30 time slot. Okay, thank you so much for listening. So I'll be seeing you next week. Bye bye.